Senator, let him complete his answer, would you? Your time
He's
is
filibustering and not answering questions. And so I'm going to ask him to answer the question I ask instead of giving a speech on a different topic. And Mr. Chairman, you do this all the time. When a question is going badly for a Democrat witness, you jump in and try to save the witness. He knows how to answer a question. When I ask a question, he gives a speech on a different topic because he doesn't want to answer it. My question is simple. Do you condemn this event that was celebrating Palestinian Islamic Jihad? Yes or no?
You should not bully the witnesses nor try to bully members of the committee.
Asking a question is not bullying.
Senator Ted Cruz takes aim at Judiciary Committee Chair Dick Durbin in a heated Senate hearing, slamming the Democrat for shielding a radical nominee from answering tough questions about anti-Semitism, terrorism, and extremist affiliations. In one of the most explosive moments on Capitol Hill this year, Senator Ted Cruz unleashed a fiery rebuke, not just against a controversial Democrat nominee, but also against Judiciary Committee Chairman Dick Durbin himself. The reason? A nominee who danced around condemnations of terrorism and anti-Semitism, and a Democrat chairman accused of shielding him from the truth. What unfolded next stunned the room. Watch as Cruz dismantles the nominee's evasions and calls out Durbin for trying to run cover. Let's dive in.
Senator Cruz, let me say first, with regard to the genocide issue that you raised, any calls for genocide of any people are absolutely horrific. Horrific. And there could be nothing that is more contrary and antithetical to everything that I stand for. Now, with regard to the center, as I mentioned earlier, I served on an advisory board. Its function was to meet approximately once a year and to focus on what areas of academic research at Rutgers Law School might be productive to engage in. For example...
So you signed up to be on an advisory board and you just didn't know what they were doing? You just didn't treat the responsibility very seriously?
The responsibility, Senator, was to advise on areas of academic research, not on the day-to-day...
You're a practicing lawyer. I want to return to the question I asked.
Yes.
Which is, do you agree with the sentiments that I just read you from the director of the center on whose advisory board you served?
Senator, I have no knowledge of that speech or statements that you're referencing.
Do you believe that Israel is an occupying force in Palestine?
Senator, the history of that region is very complex, and I don't claim to be an expert in it.
All right, let me ask you this. Same letter posted by the same director, quote, "We are in awe of the Palestinian struggle to resist violent occupation, removal, erasure, and the expansion of Israeli settler colonialism." Do you agree with that sentiment?
I'll give you the same answer, Senator.
Which is
that is a very complex history in the region.
It means context?
No, it means it is a history that is the domain of policymakers.
So no, it is not. Israel is not a violent occupier engaged in settler colonialism. That is a political statement, and you are unwilling to disagree with it, which suggests there's a reason you were on that board. There was a reason. It's actually quite remarkable that you're not even willing to disclaim the statement, "We're in awe of the Palestinian struggle to resist in light of October 7th.
Senator, I stated this earlier, but let me repeat it because I think it's critically important.
Do you condemn the atrocities of the Hamas terrorists?
Yes, that's what I was about to address, Senator.
And is there any justification? Is there any justification for those atrocities?
Senator, I'll repeat myself. The events of October 7th were a horror involving the deaths of innocent civilians. That is contrary...
I'm going to ask the question again. Is there any justification for those atrocities?
That was going to be my next sentence, Senator, which is, I have no patience, none, for any attempts to justify or defend those events.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about the fact that the center on whose board you served hosted, on the 20th anniversary of September 11th, an event with a convicted terrorist who pleaded guilty? Dr. Sami al-Iranian was convicted of conspiracy to contribute services or benefits to a terrorist organization, and Dr. Hatem Bazian explicitly called for intifada against the United States. Do you agree with those sentiments?
Senator, I'd like to say two things on that point. Number one, on 9/11, I was in New York. I saw what happened. It was my city that was attacked. Number two, I've never heard of this event prior to today. It was never brought to the advisory board, which meant once a year to talk about academic issues.
Are you willing to denounce the center on whose board you served inviting a convicted terrorist, a supporter of Palestinian Islamic Jihad? By the way, Palestinian Islamic Jihad participated in the October 7th atrocities. Are you willing to condemn their inviting a supporter of their to attack America and to support the reasons for the September 11th attacks?
Senator, I don't think anyone can feel more strongly about what happened on 9/11 than someone who was there, who saw with their own eyes smoke billowing from their towers.
But you won't condemn this.
Senator, let him complete his answer, would you? Your time
He's
is
filibustering and not answering
He's
questions.
not
And so I'm going to ask him to
You know what?
answer the question I ask instead of giving a speech on a different topic. And Mr. Chairman, you do this all the time.
I do.
When a question is going badly for a Democrat witness, you jump in and try to save the witness. He knows how to answer a question. When I ask a question, he gives a speech on a different topic because he doesn't want to answer it. My question is simple. Do you condemn this event that was celebrating Palestinian Islamic Jihad? Yes or no?
You should not bully the witnesses nor try to bully members of the committee. Complete
Asking
your
a question is not bullying.
In a hearing marked by evasion, deflection, and silence on moral clarity, it was Senator Ted Cruz who stood firmly in defense of truth. While the nominee stumbled over basic questions about terrorism and anti-Semitism, and while Chairman Dick Durbin stepped in repeatedly to shield him, Cruz held the line. He didn't just expose a nominee's dangerous affiliations, he revealed the deeper rot and unwillingness among some leaders to confront radical ideologies when they align with politically convenient narratives. Cruz's questions weren't inflammatory. They were essential. They reminded Americans that a federal judge must stand for justice, not hide behind academic nuance or vague condemnations. In demanding real answers, Ted Cruz upheld the values of courage, accountability, and moral clarity. When others backed down, he stood up, and for that, Cruz didn't just win the exchange, he reminded the nation what principled leadership looks like. Senator Ted Cruz didn't just expose a nominee's evasions, he exposed the broader problem. A political system where extremist views are tolerated and even defended, so long as they align with the left's agenda. As Cruz pointed out, this isn't about partisanship, it's about principle. If a nominee can't call out terrorism and anti-Semitism with clarity and courage, they have no place on the federal bench. If you believe in real accountability, in truth over political theater, smash that like button and subscribe for more fearless breakdowns of what really happens in Washington.